Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is I'm talking to realtors, talking about time management and productivity. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Andrew Wilson. I'm the broker and owner over at Brickhouse Realty. And I have been working with agents and helping them develop and grow their business for many years now. I have been licensed in the business for a little over 15 years. And know a little bit about time management and what it takes to be productive and produce the way that you should. So, I did prepare a slideshow for today that I'm going to share with you here. All right, so let me get that going. All right, so you should see that slideshow. So today's topic is productivity and time management. And believe it or not, those two really play a part with each other. The most important thing is going to be your time management, and then that is what allows you to be more productive in a day. So, working with a lot of real estate agents, I always hear the issue of not having enough time, not having enough time to get the things done all of the things done that they need to do in a day. And what I find in most cases is that it's a lack of time management skills of when they're setting these things up and accomplishing those tasks. So let me go to this next slide here. All right. So I have a golden rule. If you're an agent in my office, you probably have heard me say this time and time again that the golden rule is for time blocking is to always lead with revenue. This has been something that has stuck with me for a long time in my career, not just in real estate, but just in business as a whole. The thing about it is we oftentimes like to put or do the things that we enjoy most kind of like first of the day, right? So it's no different than even just getting stuck on social media, scrolling, and then, oh shoot, an hour has gone by. So you lost an hour of being productive in that day. Or maybe there's a part of the business, if you're a real estate agent, there may be a part of the business that you like to do a little bit more. You like to, maybe you're someone that likes to handle just the paperwork business instead of making calls to potential clients or going to networking events. So we tend to do the things that we like to do the most at the beginning of the day versus doing our dollar producing activities as first thing of the day and attacking that and getting it out of the way and then moving into another task. And so what I find that happens a lot of times is as real estate agents we start to develop and grow our business. And then we have these dips and valleys all the time happening in our business. And we really want to get to a point where it's more streamlined. It's just full speed ahead, straight line instead of experiencing those peaks. And what happens, our business is very seasonal. So at certain times of the year, we get more business and activity than other parts of the year. And so when we get to that season of our business where we're like in the thick of it, we're showing a lot of homes, listing properties, we tend to fall off from doing the activities to make sure that we're always producing those new leads. So you always have to prospect and be working on that next deal. And so when we fall away or get away from doing those prospecting activities, that's why we're seeing those dips in our business. So for me, I like to focus on making calls first thing of the day. It also helps if you start planning your days out so you almost have like theme days of who you're going to call. So because the first thing is time blocking and saying that you're going to prospect during a certain time. And if you're making calls, a lot of times I hear people don't know who to call. So if you kind of coordinate each day to be a theme day, then this will allow you so you know who you're calling on each day. I actually keep this binder on my desk here. And this binder says, when you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. If you are a fan of Eric Thomas, then you know that's exactly where that quote has come from. And I put that on the front of my prospecting binder here to remind me of going hard and hustle. So being organized is number one. When I open my binder, I know exactly who I am calling and reaching out to every day because I have theme days. On Mondays, I'm calling my favorite people, my what I call VIPs. On Tuesdays are status calls. I'm calling past clients, or under contract clients, buyers, sellers. I'm also calling lenders. On Wednesdays, I'm calling hot and old leads. On Thursdays, I'm calling my 50 past clients. And on Friday, it's just my cold day for calling. So this here kind of reminds me who I need to be calling each day when I'm making prospecting calls. And so you may say on Tuesday when I'm making those status calls, well, Andrea, that's not really a prospecting calls. It is. You're killing two birds with one stone. You're keeping that current client happy. And before you get off that call, you're also going to ask them if they know anyone else that's looking to buy or sell real estate. So it doesn't matter that they're a current client, we're always asking for the business. And when you also call your lender partners that you may be working with on the deal, don't forget they're in the business of working with the same clients you're trying to get in front of. And those lenders also produce leads. The question is, where are they sending those leads to? And what do you need to do, or how do you need to establish that relationship so you're one of their referring agents? So your daily goal is to complete dollar producing activities first thing of the day. So what are those dollar producing activities? And if you are someone who, for me, when I got into business, I didn't have a large family base or friend base, or I wasn't part of an organization that I could like tap into a database of people. So I had to create these friends and make new connections and everything. So, with that, I am a big person on calling. That's how I started out my business. I called expires and for sale by owners early on, learned those habits. And those are the type of activities that you want to make sure that you're doing first thing of the day. Those dollar producing activities, looking for new business. Now, if you're looking to call expired listings, then there's services that are out there that you can pay for that will send you to your email daily, of the expired listing. Now, the market that we were coming off of, we didn't see much expired listings happening because of mostly everything that was going on the market was sold because the inventory was so low. Now we're going to start to see that. We'll still see that with the inventory issues. However, we're also seeing that homes are now taking longer to sell. I just looked at some homes on the market. I'm seeing 50 days on the market, not just one house, multiple houses. Eventually, these listings are going to start to expire. So, right now is a good time to get in the practice of learning scripts of how to talk to and how to call out to these folks. Same things with for sale by owners. They're going to start to get frustrated because they've been hearing about how hot the market is, and they're going to have a hard time selling their house. So they're going to need you to then help them. And so you want to be in position to do that. So your daily activity is to complete those dollar producing activities first thing of the day. So your time blocking, when you go into the office, that first hour to 2 hours of the day, you want to block that off for you to make those calls out to potential clients that are out there for sale by owners, expires. You can even call businesses if you choose to do so. Business owners in the area or in that market where you're trying to gain business from, and introduce yourself and let them know who you are, the area that you're servicing, and maybe set up a one-on-one appointment to meet with them. Now, What I typically will do is, as far as scheduling appointments, in person appointments, or showing houses, I typically will not show houses before 12 o'clock. Has it happened? Absolutely. Sometimes you get that client, and I've had clients that work third shift. They would prefer to see right after getting off work, first thing in the morning, and will go out. That is the exception. I try not to make that happen often, but when that does happen, I just change my schedule around. I'm showing that person, but now that just means I need to make sure that I'm time blocking to make those calls or those prospecting activities a little later in the day. So, goals and actions. So, propose actions at the end of the day, write a to do list for the next day. So, at the end of the best thing you can do is be prepared, already prepared for the next day. So, you don't have to think about it. So, it's kind of like the night before you go to sleep, you take a few minutes and you just write out that to do list of everything that you need to do the next day, those prospecting calls, who you're going to call. If you don't already have a list, you want to have all of those things lined up. So you have a to-do list of everything that you need to do that next day, and then you're going to prioritize that list that you have in front of you. So when you prioritize it, if you have this list of things you're going door knocking today. That is a dollar producing activity. You're going actively looking for business. You are making calls today. That is a dollar producing activity. So you want to get a highlighter, preferably green, and start highlighting the items on your to do list of what is dollar producing activities. And that will tell you those are the first things that you should be doing of the day. Now, door knocking may take place or need to take place a little later in the evening, just because you want to try to catch people, or later afternoon. So you can still make those calls. Your time blocking is so important. Let me give you here is a book that you can also use if you find yourself having a hard time blocking. I got this book off of Amazon. It's like $7 on Amazon. It's called time boxing. So this will allow you put the date, top priorities, you do a brain dump, right? So you can do this the night before, you do your brain dump and you put down everything that you need to accomplish and do that next day. And then over here, you can put the time frame of when it needs to happen. This is what the inside of it looks like, if you can see that. $7 on Amazon. You don't need to pay all crazy kinds of money for a planner or anything like that. You can find this over on Amazon. So I find that is the biggest piece, is just not planning your day out properly. So then when you get to the end of the day, the dollar producing activities may never make it on the list, because is really the thing that you really don't want to do. So you kind of pushing it off, and then you trying to roll it into the next week. And then before you know it, it's the end of the week and those things didn't get done. So we have to shift that a little bit. If you're saying that I want to be more productive, I want to get more things done, I want to increase my business, then we have to focus in on usually the thing that you like the least, and by putting those dollar producing activities as first thing on your list, the first thing on your plate for the day, versus having them at the end of the day. And then blocking your calendar off so nothing interferes or gets in the way of that protected time. You have to protect that time that you have for that time blocking, because we're securing our future paycheck. We've hit the second half of the year, right? And I always tease folks because and say, Christmas will be here before you know it. Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. So are we eating steak and lobster, bringing in the new year, or are we eating beans and wieners? Because the activities and things that you do now is what makes is securing your paycheck come November and December. So it's something to think about. Our as real estate agents, the cycle and when we get paid is such a long cycle. You first have to identify and find the client that you're going to be working with. From there, we have to then find the house that in the market that we were kind of coming out of now was taking months at that point, starting to ease up a little bit. But say on a good day, it takes you 3 to 4 weeks to even find that house, right? So we're at 30 days finding the house. Now you found the house and we put it under contract, and now you need 30 to 40 days to close on there, right? So, as we start to progress through the second half of the year, there's trigger points. When you start getting close to the end of the year, your business model should shift a little bit. And I tell the agents in the office, you will hit a certain point of the year where you can't get any more closings in the current year. It's going to fall in the next year. So, where your business should shift is you should be focusing on clients that can close quickly, cash buyers, renters in that time of the year. But that's a whole different conversation. All right. So our goals and actions continue. While working on these dollar producing activities, remove distractions. I do it myself. I find myself getting distracted all the time by what? The phone. Either someone is often calling me and with lots of questions, or that person is either they're calling me or social media, something happens. My notification goes off. So I find myself picking up my phone and focusing in on that and losing time, losing those precious minutes that I should be calling on my database. So I know you need your phone to make those calls, but maybe turning off any of those notifications, making sure you stay on that dial screen so you can stay focused in there, and then setting a number of calls that you're planning to make. If you're planning to make 40 calls in that session, do you want that 40 calls to happen in an hour, or do you want that 40 calls to happen in a half a day because you've been interrupted on going on social media? So you want to speed through that as quickly as possible. So you make sure those dollar producing activities are on the to-do list daily. And I know I kind of mentioned that before, but I just want to reiterate the importance of that, having those on the to-do list daily. Removing it from your list is not going to help you become more productive. When you start time blocking your time, you become more productive because now you started doing the activities that's going to help increase your money. Once you start increasing your money, you can then start paying for assistance on the administrative work on your business. But you can't get there. We have to lead with revenue. First, we bring in the revenue, then we pay and can put out the money to put in these systems in place to make the business more efficient for you as you move along. Contact management system, hiring assistant to handle your paperwork. But again, you produce the money first, and then you put in place and pay for these additional service. How you produce and put out more work and become more productive is by looking at your calendar and time blocking your schedule based on the dollar producing activities that need to get done. So I know that's short and sweet, but that is a little tip of kind of like what we talk about on our Monday calls here in the office. If you are a real estate agent and you've been looking for or thinking about making a change, I would love to talk to you. If you're here in the Cleveland market, let's get connected. We can just chat. No pressure there. So it's no pressure there, but it's really just about planning your day. After I've talked and worked with so many real estate agents, it's just their day gets out of whack. They say they took a call, a home inspection went bad. They have an upset client. A deal is about to fall apart. All of those things are going to be there waiting for you at the end of your call session. And just think about it like that. We feel so compelled to answer the phone because we don't want to let that buyer or that seller down. But just think about why you're in this business, why you go to work every day. Maybe you have kids, right? And your production, your output in the work that you do and the success of your kids depends on how much money you make. And so you have to start putting yourself first and protect that time block time, to make sure you're doing the activities so you stay consistently having business. We have to get away from the ups and downs in our business, because now we're busy, 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 but we didn't produce the business or continue to prospect while we had all of these active clients in escrow, or the showing the buyers. We all know, if you've been in real estate, you know that your deal can fall apart like the day before closing. Quite a few of our deals fall apart really late in the deal, and if you were counting on that to pay your mortgage, pay your car note, that can cause problem. I'm gonna do another video soon, and talking about multiple streams of income for real estate agents. If you have been with me, you know that I talk about this all the time. We have to learn how to bring in additional revenue from different sources. It can complement your real estate business, but you need that in order to not go crazy. To not go crazy, if you're a real estate agent, for when these deals fall through, you always have additional stream of income coming in to help offset that. Remove some of that stress from yourself. And so thank you for joining me today. That was just a quick little overview. Hey, if you're having trouble in your business, want to know what to do next, how to grow, write some goals, some planning. So the type of planning that I do with business, we talk about your real estate business, but what's that bigger picture? What else do you have a passion for? Because I find that people they may have a passion for real estate, but they have a passion for someone else or another side business. So how can we integrate those two together for success? As always, you can catch me online in my DMs. I'm always answering. If this is your first time joining me, please subscribe, like, share, and I will see you next week. Have a good day, guys.